Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'm sitting here with a hood over my head. Um, and I just came from a meeting. Anyway, in the background I have the heater on. Maybe I should turn that off. Well, that is top-notch quality production value. It's got to it's got to set a good example. Anyway, Oreo cookies. The chocolate cookie with the creamy. Anyway, everyone knows what Oreo cookies are. Anyway, they put out a tweet. When I don't know, it was like last week. They put out a tweet that said, "Trans people exist." Um, I don't know why they did that. I mean, are they trying to bring America's greatest mistakes to the forefront? Oh boy. I just don't know what the Oreo cookie company gains by posting a tweet. Trans people exist. If I remember the stats correctly, under 1% of America's population is a trans. So let's just round up. 1% of America's population is trans. Um, well, I'm sure the number's going up with all the fake how do I put this all the fake woke activists who think a 3-year-old should be able to choose their gender. So I'm assuming because there was just push to let more and more little kids, who were like 4, 5, 6, like let them decide. Well, I'm not a little boy anymore. Like little stuff like that. I can picture maybe going on the rise because we basically have a bunch of bad parents. But take all that aside. Oreo cookie company. I don't know their name. I'm assuming it's just Oreo cookie company, or they call it something else. Can someone help me out here? Okay, well, as my team does the research, I'll update that information later. Anyway, I'm just trying to see whoever was in charge of that, like whoever idea that was. The reason why they did it was, I'm assuming they thought it was going to increase sales, right? Because why else would they do it? The only problem is if trans people make up 1% of the you know um, United States population, I don't understand why that was needed. You know, because for me, it makes me actually not want to buy the cookie. Not that I was going to buy the cookie in the first place, but I'm definitely never going to ever eat another Oreo cookie again. I am officially protesting Oreo cookies and any other product associated with Oreo cookies. So basically anything else that causes diabetes. I am completely protesting the whole, like, if you look at the food pyramid, so like the Oreo cookie is at the bottom, and that's the diabetic section. It's called the type 2 section. So like I'm boycotting anything that gives you or promotes type 2 diabetes. Okay? That was the stupidest tweet ever. Okay? And I've seen some doozies. but the moronic thinking behind a tweet trans people exist is just completely stupid. Okay. And like I want to be at the meeting. Like, was that discussed amongst all the stockholders? You know what we really need to boost this company? We need a tweet, and it should be trans people exist. You're talking about a population of people that the majority of them walk the streets of Hollywood and downtown LA. Okay, looking for a middle-aged man. Probably has his kid in the car seat in the back of a car, and he's sick of his wife. He has an extra $20. He's like, fuck it, I'll get a tranny. Yeah, they exist. Get over it. But you don't have to be a cookie company promoting it. Oh my god, it's just more clown world bullshit. I mean, it could have been anything. Like Oreo cookies could have had a tweet like I don't know, whatever, Chinese people exist. It doesn't matter. It's something so stupid. It's like, what do you gain by posting whatever? Short people exist. Tall people exist. Trans people exist. Like, what? What's the point? Like, I don't understand. Like, some decisions made by people who supposedly know what they're doing just proves that they don't know what they're doing. When you run a business, your main goal should be to stay in business. How you stay in business? You make money. Oh, look at me, I'm a genius. I'm a goddamn genius. But yeah, you make money. You make money by making a product that that the average person would like. I mean, that's what the most successful companies, the companies that are worth billions. Did I say billions? Billions. The companies that are worth billions and have been successful over a long period of time make a product that the majority of the people like. Pop music, country music. Been around, both of those genres have been around for a long time. They're the two most popular types of music. Most people like country, most people like pop music. Unless you want to be niche and just be like jungle rap, then I guess you do that. And you also do trans people exist. Okay? Because the average person doesn't give a fuck. I mean, the media makes it seem like people care, but people don't care. Living where I live, like I've been to Hollywood a few times, and like, maybe you'll see one every whatever 2 hours walking down those crazy streets. No one cares. Like, literally, no one cares. The average person's like, oh, that's a tall ugly girl. Oh, my bad, that's a dude. That's your average reaction. It's not life changing, not world changing. It is definitely not the norm. Okay? And most people avoid them. Usually, the average person. But the way you see stuff being marketed on the internet, or the attitudes or whatever, they're making it seem like everyone has a best friend tranny, and they have one that lives in their guest room. Literally 1% of America's population is a tranny. Just, stop it already. Okay? It's like your push for acceptance is just making it a joke. You know? It's like, look at me, I have woke points. Like, who cares? People or people. Just act like everyone's the same. You do better that way. I mean, once again, I'm not a tranny. but I'm assuming the average tranny just considers him or herself a person and doesn't need, you know, special treatment because they're already special enough. Like, I don't know. But you can replace trans with anything. I'm sure you could literally put anything in there. Like well, it's a trend. You probably can't put anything in there. Heyo, heyo, kick, 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 kick. Anyway, what if Oreo cookies made a tweet? Black people exist. How many people do you think would have left Twitter? And then like I would have done a podcast going, I'm protesting Oreo cookies. The one thing I was afraid of existing apparently has been verified by Oreo Cookie Company. I thought black people were just a rumor. Do I have a point to this? No, I just want to make fun of trannies and black people. But I just want to know, seriously, everything in business supposedly is calculated, right? So, did they do market research? Like did some guy behind a computer screen and glasses lean over and be like, "Hey, we gotta make a post," because like they have a social media department, so there's a group of people that run their Twitter, and like who the fuck is following Oreo Cookies Twitter page? Hey man, did you see what Oreo Cookies posted? Yeah, man, yeah, they're coming out with a new flavor, Diabetes 3. So someone did some research. If we post that trans people exist, our stock prices are going to go up 3%. I mean, who thought that was a good idea? I want to meet that person who actually thought that was a good idea to post. Because that person is probably a spy for, I don't know, the Fig Newton company. I figure Fig Newtons are the opposite of Oreo cookies, right? Because one's a cookie and one's a Fig Newton. Even though I've seen commercials where they call Fig Newtons cookies. But then I've been around long enough where like they refuted that statement and said they're not cookies. Kind of like those studies where they're like, yeah, a cup of coffee in the morning is good for you, and then like 5 years later, a cup of coffee in the morning is bad for you. You're like, what happened to that research, man? Have you noticed that? Like you'll be watching the news and they'll like randomly say, a glass of wine is good for you, and then like 5 years later, a glass of wine is bad for you. I mean, those are general examples because I'm a general guy. But no, like I remember like I was a little kid. It was just my parents are watching news. I'm just like happened to be there, and it was just like because I didn't know what coffee was, and it was like study has been done, and coffee's good for you. I was like a little kid. I don't know, like 7, whatever. And I remember being like like 14, watching the news. It was like after like the news came on after Spider-Man. It was like a cartoon, and like I saw like the first like 5 minutes. It was like scientists have done some studies and coffee's bad for you. I was like, wait, I remember being a little kid and saying it was good for. Anyway, yes, my mind tends to wander. It is early in the morning, and I'm fresh out of Coke. That's how it is, folks. Just for the record, trans people exist. And if you hear anyone else deny it, you tell them that the Oreo Cookie Company said that trans people exist.